backdrop with the sponsors logos. He's going to have a chat to you all towards the end about how training's going to look in terms of what groups are what and when and where. So just hang on, it could take up to about an hour, so feel free to come and go as you like. All we ask is that you just mute yourself, so just turn your microphones off so that we don't get any background noise. You're welcome to leave your cameras on if you like. I'm recording this now and all yours. Great.
All right. Thanks, Mick. Thanks everyone for jumping on. Obviously, the last couple of days we've got some exciting news that we're able to start back at training, and we've got some dates which Adam will share later on with as far as start dates for our juniors, when our roster will start. But before we get into that, we've probably got a couple of weeks while we're in these current restrictions, a couple of weeks of the way how we're going to have to train and the protocols in place. So tonight's just a bit of an information session about what that entails, and we just need everybody on board. We can't be seen taking shortcuts or easy way outs, or just because you're a mate of someone's you'll let you off. We've just got to all stick to the rules. We have COVID officers, which will be initially, I'd imagine, it will be the people in charge of your group or your coach, and they will be the person that will make sure that everyone's doing the right thing. So it's going to be completely different, or a little bit different to what we used to, but it was something that we've just got to be mindful of. It's not us making the rules. It's the government, Cricket Victoria, and the governing bodies who are setting these standards. So I've got a bit of a running sheet to work through. I'll try and get through it as quick as I can. If you do have any questions, just put them on the chat, and we'll get to those questions at the end. If there's anyone that's got any queries, questions, concerns. So, pretty much the arriving at the ground, pretty much the and that's in line with Cricket Victoria and the government bodies, as I mentioned before. For children 12 years and over, masks must be worn to and from the ground. While you are participating in training, so while you're on the ground fielding, batting, bowling, you are not required to wear a mask, but as soon as you finish training or leave the ground, you're required to put your mask back on. Obviously, and that'll be the same as that's for training, and it'll be all the same at this point in stage for game day. So how these protocols and that will change between now and towards the end of November when we start playing, that will be determined, but from the information that we have now, that's the requirement. So if you're on the ground participating, you don't need to wear it. But as soon as you're off the ground, the mask must be on. On arrival to the ground, players and parents of the juniors must scan in with their mobile phone, scan the QR code. So if you just want to put me up there for a second.
Yeah.
Each of our COVID officers have a backpack like this. Inside the backpack, there is hand wipes, Blend 20 spray, hand sanitizer, a rose bag, and also a little book, just a notepad for them to take notes and put information in. On the front of that notepad is a QR code. Now, anyone that's not familiar with it, it's just a matter of firstly taking a photo or putting your camera on, your phone on camera, holding it up to that code, QR code, and it will lead you to the website. Now that will just ask you to put your name and your phone number in it. Now if you've got multiple children, you can do it on the same phone. You just got to put their individual names on it, and that'll scan. I've also got these placed. There's some on the cricket nets. There's some on the bollard when you first walk into the ground, and there's also some on the pavilion. So there's plenty of areas, but when you get to the coach or the COVID also have. If the children have their own phone, they can use their own phone, or the parents must scan them in on arriving. On leaving training, and or game day, you must scan out as well. So it's important to scan in when you arrive and scan out when you leave. A fail to do so is a breach of our protocols, and as I said, these are not rules that are set out by specifically our club. The rules set out by the Victorian Government and Cricket Victoria to allow us to get back to train. So we really need all the parent support and the junior boys and girls. We really need their support in making sure that they're doing the right thing and helping out their coaches. Players for the juniors, when you present to the ground, you must present to the ground and to your coach. So we don't go lingering off in a group or catching up with somebody in another group or anything like that. You must go straight to the coach or the COVID officer that's in charge of your group. When you get to the ground, it's a good idea not to arrive too early. So we only want you there pretty much 5 minutes before the training session is due to start. We don't want people hanging around in a group for 30 minutes before training, especially if it's not in a group that you don't belong to. So it's just those other things that are important to make this happen. As I mentioned, there's no socialising with other groups on arriving at the ground or at the completion of your session. And arrive at training, and once we start playing in the games, you arrive dressed, ready to play. So our facility won't be open, so you must turn up ready to go. The training structure, so we must sanitise before the training commences. So as I said, the COVID officers have the hand sanitizer there for everyone to get a bit of a squirt in their hands. Make sure you sanitise your hands. Sanitisation breaks will be conducted every 30 to 40 minutes during the session. There is to be no sharing of drinks, equipment, and balls. If you're given a ball to bowl within the nets, you can't change that ball until that ball is sanitised. So you can't just take it in turns of bowl, and if it's a good ball, you must have that ball for your session, and then once your session's finished, the ball can be sanitised and changed over. Now, originally, as far as the sharing of equipment, that has relaxed a little bit. So you're able to share pads and a bat. That's as far as I'll really recommend. But those things must be sanitised before the next person uses it. They do recommend that it is sanitised and then let sit for 30 minutes before the next person uses it. So if that's something we need to do, or that's going to really impact into our training sessions. So, we strongly recommend that you have your own equipment, and that will also speed up and allow the coaches to get through the training session without extra unnecessary breaks. And obviously training in groups of no more than your team number. So on here it says no more than 11. At the time I wrote this, it has come out and said now that if your team is a team of 13, which a lot of the junior teams are allowed to have 13 odd players, so you're allowed to train in your team up to that number, including with the coach not included in that number. Our facilities, so our change rooms and social rooms will remain closed. We do not have permission from the council at this point in time to use either the change room or the social rooms. The public toilets will be open for use. I've got to have a conversation with the council tomorrow in regards to the cleaning of those toilets, as they are a council owned facility. We'll be pushing pretty hard at them to make sure that those toilets are cleaned every day, because we'll be using them every day. As I mentioned before, in the COVID offices, they'll have the wipes and the sanitizer bottles, the sprays, group with your mate. It's just a bit of bad luck at the moment. Just we've got to do what we can to get started to train. And if that means you're training in a different group, so be it. We make no apologies for that. As I said, the training sessions, I know I'm harping on this a little bit, but it's just really important that those messages get through, that players must stay in their allocated group. There are no swapping groups or socialising with other groups. As I mentioned, no sharing equipment unless it's thoroughly sanitised. And then just the basic rules. So, we've had these rules now in our normal day-to-day life for the last 6 months. So, social distancing of 1.5 metres, so that still applies. No high fives, shaking of hands, hugging before, during, or after the session. So it might be a way of the kids to come up with innovative ways to celebrate good catches, wickets, runs. We've been doing things virtually for the last few months now like this, so I'm sure the kids will come up with some innovative ways to celebrate starting the season. We have lowered our fees for returning members this year, but if at this point in time it looks like there'll be around about 10 games for juniors for the season. If we only get 5 games or less, the juniors will be entitled to receive a refund slash credit of $70. Or if you are happy to and you don't need that $70 back, it can be processed as a donation. If we get, once we hit 6 games and further on, 6 games, 7 games, and we get COVIDed out, unfortunately there'll be no refund from then that point on. Obviously, as a club, we have some fixed costs that we have to cover, and that goes towards covering our costs. We certainly haven't had much of a chop out from the council as far as council fees and rent for our facility. We still have our insurances. We still have to buy the balls, and once we get through to the second half of that season, so once we click over, I've purchased enough cricket balls for half the year. So without going over the top with the expenses, so then once we get to the second half of the season and we're confident that that's going to go ahead, well then we'll purchase the second half of the balls to cover us off for the rest of the year. So, look, I'm happy to take any questions on that. But that's where we stand at this point in time. I think it's a fair and reasonable position. But just keep in mind that it is only if the games are impacted by COVID. So, if we get washed out, that's part of the cricket game. If it's heated out, that's part of cricket. But if we get halfway through the season and things go pear-shaped at Christmas time, it will be certainly different, and there's, habits that we get into and that we do that, habits that we get into that, especially for some of us older players, of wiping the sweat wiping your brow with the sweat, that sort of thing. We've just got to make sure that we get out of that habit in these first 3 or 4 weeks of pre-season training. Will certainly provide that opportunity to get into those good habits, because obviously there are penalties and everything that go along with that. If you blatantly disregard those rules, but I'll leave that to the coaches to go through, as we go, as they work through the pre-season. Just 1 second, excuse me. Going flat. I'm back on track now. And the last thing is the late registration. So it's really important that for the sake of us, of Adam, organising the juniors and making sure that we've got players that we think we've got. I know there was a lot of pre-registrations earlier in the year. We're still waiting on a lot of those pre-registrations to come through, and hopefully after tonight's information session and the go-ahead now that we've had to go forward with the season, that those registrations start coming through, and it's just really important that they come through so we can start fair income knowing exactly how many teams and that we're going to be up for. And if the registrations are coming through, if you are late with your registration, it could actually mean that, because we have got, if everything comes through that we think it is, that we think it will, there will be, our junior competition will be pretty strong and with a lot of kids. So it's just important that they come through, because a bugger miss out playing in the team that you'd like to play in, because you left your registration to the last week before we start. I'm happy to take any questions if anyone's got anything.
We've got when is training. I think we'll come back to that a little bit later on, Brandon.
Yep. to have a bit of a run around there, mate. So let's make sure that we do the right thing, because we want to make sure that the season doesn't just go for 1 or 2 weeks because somebody does the wrong thing and we end up with a positive case because of negligence. Let's make sure that we do the right thing and get the season underway. Yep, the group's going to be announced very shortly, so that's when I'll hand over to Adam and he'll go through the training groups and the nights and everything like that. So if there's no one with any more questions, I will pass over. And look, if you have any more questions coming through, towards the end, I'll take some more questions at the end.
Yeah, just chuck it in the chat, guys, and we'll get back to all those questions at the end. No doubt there'll probably be a few more once Adam does his little bit as well. So don't be afraid. Just throw them in the chat, and we'll get to them at the end. Over to you, Adam.
Thanks, Stella. Do you want to chuck up the PowerPoint slide if you can? So for those who don't know me, I'm Adam Smith, Junior Coordinator. I'm sure you've seen spurious videos of me around Facebook and on email and so forth. My first few discussion points were on the COVID protocols and registrations, which Craig has just covered. Just wanted to say a shout of thanks. There's already a number of parents that have put hands up to be COVID safe officers. And we see that as a really important role because the coach has got enough on their plate at training and on match day, and to be able to have COVID safe officers for each of our junior teams we see is something that's vitally important. With all this stuff, I wanted to say a big shout of thanks to the other guys in the junior committee because they've been doing a lot of work in the background. Aaron Cornish, Gaffy, Cass. We've had a few longish sessions already trying to work out how this season's going to evolve and where we're going to go. Ella, can you just flick it to the next? Yeah. So obviously, Craig mentioned about registrations. Registrations are really, really important for us. Yes, we got a good indication of how many players and how many teams we need as a result of our pre-registrations. But there's still a lot of people that haven't fully committed with their registration as yet. Now I know a lot of people have probably been waiting to see restrictions being eased and where we're at with lockdown and to ensure that the government registrations, everyone's registrations in by the end of the second week of November. Which leads me on to the season fixture. Initially, we thought the season was going to start the weekend of the 13th and 14th of November from a junior perspective. Unfortunately, we heard just last night that the first round of the junior season for under 10s, under 12s, under 14s, under 16s will start on the weekend of the 27th and 28th of November. So we've still got a couple of weeks, and it actually does give us a little bit more of a pre-season and probably allows us from a planning perspective to plan things a little bit better. But that said, we still need you to get your registrations in as soon as possible so that we can commit the teams that we're planning to put forward. Now, as far as the configuration of the teams goes, based on our numbers that we've got through pre-registrations, at the moment we've got 3 under 10 teams that they're planning for. We've got 3 under 12 teams that we're planning for. We've got 4 under 14 teams that we're planning for. And at the moment, we've got 1 under 16, hoping for that to be 2 under 16 teams. So you can see that we've got quite a lot of teams. We've got over 100 that have pre-registered. So we've got a lot of juniors on our books. One thing we're not running this year is a junior girls team. We're having the junior girls team participate in the boys or the mixed competition in the under 12s. And that will be a Friday night team. That team won't just be girls because we haven't got enough girls to cover the whole team, but that will be a predominantly girls team that will have participating in the under 12 competition. Now I'm going to go through in a moment the training days and times and training groups. Now this will probably evolve a little bit over time, but these are what we need to stick to in the short term as far as training goes. Now, these are not the teams. These are the allocated training groups. So the final team selection for each of the juniors won't happen until a week out from the season, when we know exactly everyone that's registered, when we know exactly what the lay of the land looks like, have a better understanding about what the season looks like, what the fixture looks like, that type of thing. So just because you're training in a certain group, that does not mean that that is your team. a separate session later on. But certainly we'll be trying to take into consideration everyone's preferences as far as playing on Friday nights or playing on Saturday mornings, and what that actually looks like. Della, can you just flick to the next slide? So as far as what the training days look like, and as you can see, it's a pretty busy schedule right across the week. What we've tried to do is we've tried to allocate so that we've got the age groups pretty much on the same nights, but they'll be in separate groups training in separate areas of the Burnside Heights Recreation Reserve, because we have to do that under COVID protocols, given that we can't train in group sizes any larger than a cricket team. So from a high level, and we're going to send this pack out tomorrow, so you don't need to memorize all of this. And we have got all the children's names listed, and if we've left anyone out in any of the team lists, there's contact details in the back of this pack, so you can certainly get in touch. But what the structure looks like is that essentially all of our under 12 participants would train on a Monday night. Our under 16 participants would train on a Tuesday night and a Sunday morning. Our under 10 participants will train on a Wednesday, and our under 14s will train on a Friday night. Now, we're planning for training to start essentially from this Friday night onwards. So the women train tonight, I think, for the first time. The men will train tomorrow night for the first time, and we're planning to use Friday night of this week, weather permitting. It's meant to be pouring rain, but hopefully it's okay. For our under 14 team to start training, and that will be the schedule pretty much until the junior season commences, because as you know, we actually have matches on a Friday night and a Saturday once the season commences, so we will need to reconfigure the training schedule once the season starts. Now, hopefully by then we've got a different level of restrictions that might allow us to be able to train in bigger groups, that will allow us to co-share on certain training nights. So that's a little bit about what the training days and times look like, and I think most of the parents and children on the line will know essentially which age bracket they're